Hello, Cesar. You are now in Guatemala, I think.
Yes,
That's
I
correct.
am. I am.
Yeah. You are original from Guatemala, but you also lives and work in Belgium.
Yes. I was supposed to go back to Brussels like a month ago, but with everything closed, I
Mhm.
am waiting for a plane to go there.
Yeah. And is it okay in Guatemala for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of cases,
Hmm.
but I think it is because they are not doing like a lot of tests,
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
a few one. And I think also that they are not counting the weird deaths, like weird
Hmm.
pneumonia or this kind of
Hmm.
things. But I think that the the worst part is coming
Hmm.
in the
Oh,
next few weeks. Yeah.
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 And do you know something about the situation in Belgium?
Yeah, I am following it day by day, reading the
Yeah.
paper, news from the France, and yeah. But I think we are uh, getting out from the worst part in Belgium,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. And there is no already no perspective when you can come back to Belgium. You have to wait. Yeah.
We have to wait that the
Yeah.
borders will open. I mean,
Yeah.
right now there's no plane
Hmm.
coming in and out
Yeah.
from Guatemala, and then
Hmm.
I think getting back to Brussels right now it's hard because I think the border is also closed. So we have to wait to
Hmm.
everything get back to
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
there.
Okay. But we're going to talk about your movie Nuestras Madres. First of all, congratulations with this incredible moving film. And for us, MOOV, a moving film is something very special. We love it, moving films.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's
Thank
because
you very
of
much.
its poetic and visually language that you use. And for me, uh, it's something very special because I know that you were in the past a documentary maker, and uh, that now a documentary maker who makes a very poetical film. Was that something for you that you want to do to make it very poetical and go behind the the documentary style of cinema?
Actually, I think the documentary style is linked to the relationship with the real. I mean, with the
Mm-hmm.
reality,
Mm-hmm.
and how the reality can feed the fiction, and
Mm-hmm.
then how you use it in a cinematographic way to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't thinking about doing something poetic. I was more thinking about being honest with myself
Mm-hmm.
and with the audience,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to make the audience share a little part of the story and
Mm-hmm.
share this daily life or these amazing moments of the
Mm-hmm.
characters.
Mm-hmm.
That was I was thinking, and I think reality it's invade the fiction, because when you when you work in a real place with real victims or a real massacre,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they took place. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, something happened, and
Mm-hmm.
something
Mm-hmm.
happened not only in the during the shooting, but something happened in the image. I mean, in
Mm-hmm.
the film at the end.
Mm-hmm. Um, another question is, how was your process in making this film? Did you make a lot of research? Do you have done a lot of interviews? Um, how do you start with this project?
Actually, at the very beginning, I was obsessed with the mother-son relationship, and I
Mhm.
was trying to find a way to explore it. And then I think it's like the layers that are
Mhm.
just going. and then this the second layer, it's like the foundation work, you know, and then how they manage to help people to mourn, help people to close chapters, and help people to go through with the science. I mean, when science tells you this is your lovely one, you can start doing your mourning, you know, and then and this is the second layer. And then I was making the research also for a documentary, and then I discovered this women in the village. And then when they told me their story, because for them it's important to talk about it, because if in the Mayan oral tradition you have to speak and you have to tell the story to go through generations, and they start talking to me about it, it was like a responsibility against them. And yeah, I did a lot of research, but I think mostly of the key moments in the process was the moments that I live with characters, or I live this experience, or I meet people. But for sure, the women and the victims was a very important part of it.
There is also some reactions from audience, and one of the things that they are asking is there a kind of own experience in it? Is it maybe some autobiographic? Is the main character? Is it maybe the director?
Sort of. I mean, my personal history is not as tragic as Ernesto's is, but for sure, my mother was a guerrilla fighter, and my father is a missing one. So I think I didn't want to make an autobiographical movie, but of course, I inspire myself by my own feelings, and I think that allowed me to know the characters very well, and then that allowed me to go deeper in these characters and explore this whole life with them. Because I think you need some distance. I mean, the feelings and everything that inspire you, it's good. But if you don't have the right distance to watch it and to work with it, you're not doing like an artistic gesture. You're just doing like a psychological or therapeutical work. And I think, yeah, the main thing was saying, this is not my story. I know these characters, but this is not me. This is fiction, and I have to manage like this.
Yeah. A personal question from the festival side is that we have this year as theme of the festival, resilience. We choose it as theme, and I think that your movie is also about resilience in a deeper way, reflecting about the movie. Is it true?
Yeah. Of course. And I was doing it without knowing it. You know, I didn't realize until I finished it, actually. And I think because when you think a lot about the civil war and the consequences and everything, you find a way to survive, you know, after everything. And I think resilience it's only a tool or a path to survive after an awful things happen. But I think also the resilience is linked with the justice, and it's also linked with this memoir work, because I think resilience itself didn't work. Resilience has to be followed by this justice and this work, this memoir
Remembrance.
work. Yeah.
That's maybe something that's also important. The remembrance, the theme of remembrance, I should say, in relation to resilience, because you see a lot of movies from all over the world who are trying to find a way to explore their history. and to understand and their history. Do you
Yeah,
think that your movie is also part in that tradition of
yeah,
cinema?
yeah. Of course, and I think it's also a clever way to talk about history without talking history,
Yeah.
because you put all this weight in this
Mhm.
character, and then
Mhm.
when his own personal story
Mhm.
meets the history, now you can talk about it without being uh, obvious or without
Mhm.
being pedagogical. And then I think also it is because my generation, I think, after what happened during the 60s, 80s, 70s, we try to understand. We try to understand because at some point, I think people have an idea of how to transform the world, how to change their reality, and how to
Mhm.
change the injustice, and how to
Mhm.
make a world more with more solidarity and humanity and everything. And most of this failed. And then we are just we have this heritage
Mhm.
from the past generation,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
we try to understand how to, and we try to find a way to also to transform it, also to fight against injustice and everything. And for this, we need to understand first of all.
But you also have to live with the wounds from the past.
Yeah, you have to learn. You have to
You have to
learn to
learn
live with
to.
the wind.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think in a country like Guatemala, it is very hard because most of the people that commit these crimes is still free, without being punished and
Mhm.
without a trial and without, and I think this is very hard and very painful.
Mhm.
Um because one thing is that you have this wound, and after a justice process you can say okay, but after all justice has been done.
Mhm.
This is not the case in Guatemala, and this is very sad, I think.
Mhm. Mhm. Um, for me, the powerful moment of the movie is the moment that you show the indigenous woman looking into the camera.
Yeah,
That's so strong, so emotionally also, so pure. And why did you choose that? Because it's a very long scene, and you took your time to give every woman enough space
yeah, yeah. To enough space to communicate and to
mm,
dialogue with the audience.
without saying anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The thing is, I wanted to have the victims and the community on film, and then at the very beginning, I tried to make a casting there
Mm-hmm.
to for the Nicolas's character, the
Mm-hmm.
indigenous woman, to go to the city to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that this is something wrong, because there was an ethical problem. You are not allowed to take a victim, uh, throw it to the fiction, and then try to film, and then after
Mm-hmm.
all just saying, okay, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
thank you very much, I will see you at some film festival, and then I hope everything is going to
Yeah.
be okay, and then you go. And then, but still, I mean, I wanted to involve the community, and we did it during the shooting, I mean, during the practical things
Mm-hmm.
during the shooting. But I want a space to do that, to have them on the film. So I imagine at the beginning this scene, and then I imagine I make interviews in sound with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point I imagine that during this scene you was hearing the testimonies, and
Mm-hmm.
then it didn't work because
Mm-hmm.
it was like a repetition of the first scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did like a recreation of the massacre in sound and in the editing room, and it was unbearable. I mean, you cannot, yeah, you cannot. It was really awful. And then and then we try silence, and then we did it with silence and with silence because there's a rupture with the language.
Mm.
It was very weird because you don't know how to do with the scene,
Mm.
and you were just like, okay, what is that? And this is how the music came to the film. Actually, we said, okay, the scene is good. We don't change it. We don't throw it. But let's try it with some music that makes all this thing coherent, and then and it worked at the end.
It works very well. Yeah.
But it was like a long process
Yeah.
to get there, actually.
Wow. Yeah. So in the beginning, you doesn't know about it to do it in that way. It was not in the script before.
It was scripted. It was
Yeah.
scripted that the portraits and then the sound. But in the editing room, we realized that didn't work, actually.
Okay. There's in the film, and maybe we go back to Guatemala as country. There's a sentence that to live in Guatemala you have to be mad or drunk,
Yeah.
and you live in that country now.
Trying not to be drunk every day. No, actually, it's a paraphrase. Miguel Ángel Asturias, the Nobel Prize, the Literature Nobel Prize, said that in the 50s, you know, and and it's still the same thing, because I think it's a country with some contradictions, and it's a very extreme country. I mean, the wildness it's extreme, and then the nature is extreme, and everything, and you are in a roller coaster every day, because you can go from people that are, I mean, there's 18 people killed, assassinated in this city every day, and at the same time you have like a gorgeous nature and gorgeous people with this beautiful energy, and all these contrasts are make you like trying to survive, and then either you get crazy, or either you get drunk, because reality is so extreme and so hard that you need something to escape.
When you are in Belgium and you follow the news and you follow the information, what's your thinking about the way that we are thinking about Guatemala? If we have some information about Guatemala in Belgium,
A little bit. I think I think there's a huge genocide in Guatemala, and nobody knows it. And but there's a strong link, I think, with Belgium, because there's many priests, Catholic priests, that came here during the 80s, and most of them get involved in the liberal theology, la libération, the liberation theology. And they get involved with the guerrilla fighters, and then get involved in these social movements, and eventually some of them get killed. And this is a very strong link, I think, between Guatemala and Belgium. And most of the people that I know in Belgium that knew about Guatemala, it was about this Catholic priest, that actually the families in Belgium are still looking for justice. And there's an open trial, looking for evidence in Belgium right now, actually.
Yeah, but there is another way that we are knowing Guatemala today. That is about with the filmmakers. It's you, and you have also Jairo Bustamante.
Yeah.
Are you friends? Are you collaborating? Do you know each other?
Yeah. We're very close friends. Actually, I was his editor for Ishkanu and Tremors. And actually, the last one, La Llorona, I was in post production during. I mean, I wasn't allowed to go there because of the time, but we know each other very well.
Yeah.
And then
Mm.
and I think I really like the Jairo's work, because I
Mm.
think he was one of the first um, that believe that at some point the stories in Guatemala are like a value and have a value. And then I think yeah, I really like his work, and
Mm.
he's a very
And
close friend.
is it also true that you and Jairo are kind of inspiration for younger filmmakers, young people to also go and film in Guatemala? Because you had an international success with this movie in Cannes. Uh, and Jairo also has international success. Does
Yeah,
you feel that there are young people who are now contact you and
yeah. Some of them contact, and then I believe that this country need like people that teach how to do
yeah.
it, because
Mm,
there are so many stories, and then so many energy, and then
mm,
so many young people doing things. And then I got the chance to study and go overseas. And then at some point, I think every time I'm here, I try to do a workshop, even if this is like a short period. I do a workshop because of script, because I believe in script. I study there, and then I study it. And I think most of the problem is in the film are not the lights or the actors, are the script. And then go back there and write. um, I hope that our experience, or the path that we made with Jairo, will open doors from other people behind us. And for this, we need to also share this knowledge with the younger generation,
yeah.
of course. And I try to do it every time I'm here, actually.
So it's important for us as festival to follow now the cinema from Guatemala to check if there are new directors and coming.
They
Uh,
will.
uh,
There's
okay, it's
an
going to be
amazing
a
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, the next generation. I mean,
uh-huh,
in
yeah.
the next 5 years, we will hear
Wow.
about it. You will see.
Okay, that's great. That's great. We go. Maybe also we need to follow you. Do you have already plans for a new project?
I want to make a movie in Brussels, and I'm writing it.
Uh-huh.
I want to make also uh, an adaptation of novel in Guatemala about an author. Uh, and yeah, I'm doing these two things right now. But
Yeah.
first of all, I want to shoot in Brussels in French, and then
Mhm.
go back there.
Mhm. But that's good that you are looking also for other themes and other cinema, not only the same kind of films that you're looking
No, no,
for
no.
new. Yeah.
And I think I need to do this first film about this the civil war and
Yeah.
everything. And now that I am allowed, or I feel the
Mhm.
right to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But before, I got like stuck with this need to tell about the genocide and everything.
Yeah.
Now it's done, so I am
Okay.
allowed to go
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah. That's fine. Okay. Cesar, we are happy to have you for this interview and for your time to do this. Um, I hope that we can also see in the future your new films and that
Thank
we
you.
can present them at MOOOV,
Of course.
and that next time you can come in real life to the Flemish part of Belgium and to visit our festival.
Of
Thank
course,
you
of
very
course.
much and congratulations with Nuestras madres. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much for having me. Thank you very
Yeah,
much, and good luck with the festival.
yeah. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye.